again. How did the first 2 steps go? Are you being consistent and following through? If not, it's okay. Just keep focusing on those 2 steps and getting really consistent at those, and then return to this video. You'll catch on quick, I promise, but being consistent is the most important part of all of this. But if you're ready, let's dive into the next 2 steps, which are really the last 2 steps of the morning routine. And I didn't mention this yet, but I've divided these out into morning and evening routines for a reason. Sandwiching your day between routines helps your body and your mind, okay? We thrive off of routine. We thrive off of a schedule. If you think about it, it makes sense. Think about how God made this earth in a rhythm and in patterns. And we're designed that same way. We're designed to be kind of in a rhythm and have patterns too, okay? So that is why I have a morning and evening routine. That being said, you can move some of these steps around if you need to, however you need to do it to get them done. Remember, done is more important than following through exactly how I say it. The only 2 I suggest you don't move are the first 2 steps. The rest can be shuffled around in any way that works well for you, okay? So let's talk about the next step, movement. I'm going to even tell you that this one's optional. But you need to know if it's optional for you or not. Okay? Like I said, each one of us are created very different. So let's talk about you. No matter what, I want you to remember this is highly recommended, and even if it's optional for you right now, down the road, don't make it optional. Okay? But here's why. So many women think of movement as exercise. They've associated exercise with losing weight. They've tied those 2 together. And the problem is they've been disappointed by past results, that the exercise didn't really lead to the weight loss that they were hoping for. Exercise provides us with a whole host of benefits, you guys. Increased cardiovascular health, improved mood, decreased stress hormones, increased mental clarity, so many things, okay? But it's not the most effective thing, the most effective thing to focus on, I should say, for weight loss. I highly encourage you to start working on breaking those 2 things apart, exercise and weight loss, okay? Because most likely you'll come out disappointed, okay? And this is really what it comes down to. So many women, since they were on exercise routines, thought that they could eat more once they exercised. You cannot out-exercise a bad diet, okay? A whole bunch of unhealthy food. So I want you to instead think of this movement as self-care, caring for your mental and overall physical health, getting your heart strong, getting your mind strong, okay? That's what exercise really is good at. Not so much weight loss, okay? Again, the best movement is the movement that you're going to follow through on. So don't get caught up in thinking that you have to exercise for a certain amount of time, or that you have to move for a certain amount of time, or have some sort of exertion level for it to be worth it. It's not true. The enemy is lying to you, and I can give you lots of studies to prove this, okay? Every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. That's why I recommend for a lot of you to just start off with 2 minutes. Make it really simple. Start with a walking routine just around your house. I mean it. Start really small and stay committed. Just get consistent at least doing 2 minutes. Okay? It's that consistency that's really important. And this is what you're going to find. As you're doing it, you'll want to do more. and go ahead and do more. If you tell yourself, I'm just going to go out and do 2 minutes, and then you start walking, you're like, oh, wait, I really actually want to do a 10-minute walk. Do it. And believe me, you're going to get there sooner than you think. You're going to want to be doing more because you're going to realize how good it feels. Because it's not torturing yourself. You're not exercising because you ate bad the day before. And you're not torturing yourself so that you can eat more during the day. You're going to disassociate those two, and you're going to use movement as really something that's going to make you feel good. Okay? The Bible verse I really like for this one is, therefore, I do not run like someone running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the air. No, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. That's 1 Corinthians 9:26 through 27. Okay, the reason I chose this one is you need to have the right intention for what you are doing. Okay? If you don't, it's like beating the air. And I bet a lot of you have felt like you're beating the air when you have exercised in the past. Okay? So don't keep punching the air thinking that exercise is a magic bullet to lose weight and you have to do it to lose weight. You don't. Okay? It is a wonderful and great tool, but it's not the most important one. Focus on training that really takes care of your body. That's an investment for yourself, for your brain, and for your overall health, so you can live more fully for God. Okay? All right, let's go into the next step. Let's talk about, and this moves perfectly into the next step, let's talk about self-care, okay? I need you to find time in your schedule for non-negotiable self-care. I put some ideas in the guide, but it can really be anything that calms you, relaxes you, de-stresses you, puts you into flow. Now, I'm not going to get into what flow is. You can research it. Look up psychology flow, okay? It's really interesting. But basically, the time for this activity should just fly by, and you should get a net positive benefit from it. Meaning you should be energized by it, okay? And let's talk a little bit about a net positive benefit. I discourage you guys from using self-care or using TV, watching TV or movies, scrolling through social media, eating in any form, or anything that leaves you empty and you think of it as self-care, okay? All those things I just listed, I call those buffering activities, as they're a way for us to escape, okay? And they often leave us with a net negative consequence. Here's what I mean. Like, take scrolling on social media, okay? It often leaves us judging others or judging ourselves and not feeling very good about ourselves. This is a net negative consequence. Now, some people maybe could use social media as self-care if it's a way for them to connect and they actually are able to talk to friends and get that net positive consequence of feeling energized by connecting with their friends. Same goes for TV, okay? Often it leaves us with wasted time, with no knowledge. A lot of times it puts, like the enemy uses it to put images and things that really don't belong in our brains. That's a net negative consequence. Now, some TV can be for the positive, okay? I just heard about that whole self-funded The Chosen about Jesus, and I don't know, I haven't watched it, but those kinds of things maybe could fill you up, maybe could leave you energized. But here's the deal. I hope you kind of get my drift there. And if you have any questions, like whether yours is a positive or negative outcome, don't hesitate to email me and I'll ask you a whole bunch of questions and we can figure it out for you. But here's why you have to do it. Eating food for a lot of people is one way that they obtain pleasure. And I'm going to ask you in the next couple steps I'm going to talk to you about kind of decreasing your food take and planning your food. And if your main source of pleasure is food, you're going to be resistant to giving that up. When you find ways to take care of yourself and find ways to find pleasure without food, you're going to show up in this world more energized rather than depleted. And you won't be turning to food all the time to fill you, okay? First of all, we really should be using God to fill us. But if you need to find other ways too, you can. God gives us lots of talents and interests and abilities to help fill us, okay? To help energize us, to use our creative outlets, okay? I love this verse. Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. That's Mark 6:31, okay? Jesus rested. He asked his disciples to rest. Rest comes in many forms, even active rest. You can be active and rest. By active, I just mean like you can be like putting a puzzle together and find rest in that. Find the activities that leave you energized and not depleted, that give you rest and restoration, and start being really diligent about putting them in your routine so they start taking the place of food. Okay? All right, guys. These are the next 2 steps I want you to start working on. I will be giving you the start of I think I'm going to be giving you all 3 steps of the evening routine in the next video, and I will be sending that to you in another week. You, like I said, work on these, get consistent at these, and you're going to be starting to feel so much better. All right, bye guys.